This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Temple Prime with Baby Bert. I got my kiddo sitting in my lap as well. Now on the left side, stop messing with the keyboard. On the left side as the Cyan Empire, this is Bashley, B. Ashley. Maybe in the comments can comment on his own play. On the right-hand side, he's the Chinese player with the name like the German mountain that I'm going to mispronounce all game long. It's Zugspitze. The only thing that I have for a pronunciation guide is you guys in the comments, because I tried looking it up, and there was some... Yeah, what? There was some YouTube video that said it's just pronounced Zugspitze. And I was like, alright, I'm pretty sure that's not how that goes. Empire versus Empire. And this is, of course, from For the Win 72. This is probably a part of a multi-game series, so you probably already know that. My kiddo, the Baby Bert. Oh, nice escape of that engineer onto the water. He's slapping the keyboard. So over time, if the observing in this map, on this match, is not as good as it normally is, then, or as bad as it normally is, then you know why. Mecha Bay going to be going on down for Bashley, and Zugspitze probably going to be doing the same thing. Some pretty intense engineer fights over these oil derricks, but it looks like Bashley was able to grab both of them initially. Zugspitze able to grab one of them back, and the Baby Bert trying to grab my headphones, which is, you know, it's all part of the strategy. If you can get your opponent to have a child and then that child is grabbing their headphones while playing a tournament game, that's a pretty good strategy. I'm not sure why more pros don't utilize that, but it's always a possibility. And, you know, it's a very advanced tactic. It's definitely not for the amateurs to try and attempt, but it's, you know, it's a pro-level move. That's what we call a big brain move in the industry. In the biz, if you will, a big brain move. IQ is probably in the 3000s range. A couple of Tengus going to be cleaning up some Imperial Warriors on the left side of the map. That keyboard really isn't for you, I promise. And Tengu's going to be coming on out on Zugspitze's side. He's managed to reclaim both of the oil derricks, so we'll have to see if he holds them long enough for it to actually be economically viable. Baby Bert now using his toes to mess with the keyboard because his arms just aren't quite long enough. On the north side, a couple of Tengus going to be going for the kill on the oil derrick, and of course, Bashley wants to stop Zugspitze from actually regaining any value from that oil derrick, so good move there. Single Imperial Warrior gets cleaned up on the south by Zugspitze, that German mountain. He's doing a very good job of making sure that no one is able to climb very high. Harvester Harass on the left side of the map, and this Tengu going for the splash damage, but doesn't quite manage to get it, as another Tengu going for Harass in the north. Bashley doing a good job of dealing with it with those free repairs, going to make Tengu Harass that much more difficult. Lost mining time, but really trading that out for one Tengu is going to be okay from Bashley's point of view. Zugspitze shuts down the dojo as well, and a big Tengu trap. Bashley is going to have an easy time staying ahead in the Tengu wars with captures like this. He's already killed 2 Tengus from his opponent, putting himself even further ahead, and if he's able to push that edge a little bit further, we could definitely see a bit of, although this Tengu may end up getting reverse trapped by Zugspitze. Harvester may end up going down, and if he can gain an advantage here before the reinforcements arrive, this is an opportunity for Zugspitze to put himself back in this game. Trading Tengu for Harvester isn't what he wants to do, and this may end up just turning into a little bit of an overwhelming situation, although nice escape by Zugspitze. Manages to get out. Well, maybe not entirely manages to get out, as that one Tengu ends up going down. And once again, Bashley, he is relentless with these Tengus. So, all right. The tactical level decision-making is not winning the game for Zugspitze. He's getting further and further behind in the Tengu numbers, but maybe he can make some bigger strategic level moves, like switching over to tsunami tanks. This is one of those places where a player has an opportunity to gain an advantage, and of course sometimes the tech switch, the amount that you actually spend on getting those higher tech units ends up allowing your opponent to get even further ahead on their chosen tech path. But since there's no expansion, it's just the 2 refineries, I think Zugspitze has an opportunity to stay ahead in terms of tech. And as long as he doesn't give away a ton of units, he can actually regain a kind of equal position from this point forward. Point defense drone's going to be coming on out, and it's 2 tsunami tanks. The new Tier 2 is starting to worry me because Chopper VXs would deal with the tsunami tanks very easily, but Tengu's much less so. And, are you worried about the Tengu harass? Are you worried about the tsunami tank harass, rather? More walls going to be coming down. Buying time is the name of the game. No tank busters here. It's just going to be Tengus versus tsunami tanks. And the Striker's not actually doing their job, not actually dealing with those Tengus. Now starting to take down some of them, but he's going to be trading equal numbers Tengus for Chopper VXs, which is going to be okay for Zugspitze. And more harassment on the Bashley from Bashley on the right side of the map. And not quite able to catch those Tengus down into the bottom right-hand corner of the map goes Bashley, but Zugspitze not actually able to figure that out and meet him there in the bottom right-hand corner. Baby Bert is going to take a little bit of a break as his mom just walked up, and gonna go hang out with her for a little bit. Tsunami tank's trying to cut through. Bashley has bought enough time to be able to get his own Tier 2 up, and it's going to be repairs versus superior number of Tengus. It's going to work out for Zugspitze on the superior number of Tengus side of things. And for now, Bashley going to be able to push this harassment away, but losing a lot of harvesters over the course of this game. Loses another Tengu. And the harassment is working out for Zugspitze. Bashley forced to sell the MCV, never able to keep both of those harvesters up for very long, at least not at the same time. Another Tengu going down, and again, just like earlier in the game, where Bashley was the one ahead on Tengus, we've now seen the exact reverse happen, where the ball has started rolling, the snowball rather, has started rolling on the Zugspitze side of things, and it's just going to be overwhelming for Bashley. The technology, it's a good way to gain an advantage, and, well, the harassment didn't work out as well as Bashley would have liked. Zugspitze was able to recover much more easily from that harassment than Bashley was earlier on in this game. Point defense drones getting taken out there, and a beacon gets dropped as well. I think he just said, "I see that you have a sudden transport. I realize that, and now I'm going to hunt it down and potentially kill it." Tengu's going to clear the skies. They, of course, want to make sure that there can be an easy engagement. Keep an eye on the sudden transport in the south, and going for just a big... No, it's not going to be a base trade. It's just going to be a little bit of harassment from our German-Chinese side of the map. Tsunami tanks, it's 3v3, but of course the advantage goes to Zugspitze. He's, of course, got the point defense drones actually on his tsunami tanks, and this is just going disastrously for Bashley. Bashley losing everything. And you're just going to suicide that one last tsunami tank, and that's it. It is over. Bashley has been defeated. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of Baby Bert casting action and a little bit of EVE on Temple Prime. I think we saw Queen Oni versus Berat on the same map, EVE, in For the Win 71. And once again, this is just like things were kind of rolling on the Bashley direction for a little while, and then Zugspitze able to turn things around. And ultimately, that efficiency is what won him the game. So you got to hand it to our Chinese Empire player there, as he was able to carve out that victory very nicely for him. And that will do it for this game, perhaps for this video, or there's more action coming your way. This might be Sybert signing out. This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Infinity Isle for some more For the Win 72 random games action on the left-hand side as the Red Soviets. This is Zaar, playing random and also playing random, landing as the Cyan Empire on the right side. This is Berat. Berat v Zaar going for that double refinery MCV move opening. Pretty common on Infinity Isle to try and get your MCV to the high ground relatively quickly. Bear gets crushed there, and A lot of Infinity Isle maps, especially in these best of ones. That's the map that most people are most comfortable on. And they have a pretty good handle, especially when you're playing random. You want to make sure that you've got a map that you're okay playing every single matchup on. And Infinity Isle is probably that map rather. War Factory coming out pretty early on from Zaar, who's smurfing as something else, so his name is kind of funky in this game. But up to the high ground, there's the second generator, and then refinery number 3 should be following relatively soon. Could end up seeing a little bit of wall swag come out from Berat onto the high ground. He's going for the classic block with that. We see this a lot from Zugspitze, but with the dojo there, Sickle is eventually going to be able to clean up these Imperial Warriors. They're going to try and get as many bears as they can. A little bit early on the burst drone there. I know some players like to activate it early so that when it lands, it doesn't have really a time to be shot off before it does the damage. One Sickle down, pretty low on HP, the other one doing absolutely fine after that engagement. First Tengu is out, does not manage to get killed by that Flak Trooper, which means it'll get a little extra damage done on that Ore Collector. Second Tengu, not quite here just yet. We'll be here momentarily. Super Reactor and Tier 2 are the thing to happen before the MCV move. Taking a little bit of extra damage there is Berat on that Tengu. Decides to turn tail and run. Doesn't actually want to fight there. Doesn't actually want to... Oh my gosh. Come on, Berat. Ooh, that's weird. A little bit of a bug or a glitch there as a Terror Drone infects this Harvester as well. So he does manage to get that oil derrick, and 2 Tank Busters will end up going down to this bear. Unfortunate for Berat, he wasn't able to get the kill on the barracks in time. Something ended up going down there. It looks like that Harvester finally did go down, I guess, to the Terror Drone. And the Sickle going for another jump as the Tengus get a couple of shots off there, but not quite able to finish it off. And the Harvester may be able to get the kill on that particular Sickle. Tengu's going for some more harassment, and they will be able to kill the Flak Trooper once again, which means it's up to the Hammer Tanks to provide the actual defense for the economy. This barracks will eventually go down. A couple of bears here to guard just in case, and then eventually those walls will be eliminated. Third refinery still not up for Berat. Instead, of course, we saw him go for the Mecha Bay and that harassment. So trying to hit his opponent rather than get his own economy online and ahead of his opponent. But a relatively low econ game for both of these guys, going Tier 2, at least on the Zaar side of things, before that third refinery. And Berat may actually be going Tier 2 relatively soon as well. More harassment with these Tengus, trying to find any opening, any opportunity at all. And at this point, almost seems like necessary to drop a crane, possibly even on the low ground, just to get those repairs on those harvesters so that you don't have to rebuild them eventually, since this Tengu harass is not letting up. Tengu ends up going down. The Bullfrog cleans it up as the Hammer Tank gets a little bit of damage with the Leech Beam, and then, of course, it does go down. Reclaiming that oil derrick. I don't know that Berat actually had that long enough for it to be worth it economically, but it almost is kind of worth it in the fact that he denied it from his opponent. So maybe down a little bit in income, but up in the annoyance factor of how much you're making your opponent hate this game. Tier 2 up and running on the Mecha Bay, so potential for some Tsunami tanks, but more likely some Chopper VX Tengu action coming out from Berat. Hey, look at that. We got ourselves a striker out on the field. And as always, this is kind of like the very early game when you have like a Peacekeeper, conscript or conscript Imperial Warrior, or even Peacekeeper Imperial Warrior dance. We see the same sort of thing repeated here in kind of the mid-game between Bullfrogs and Hammer Tanks. Of course, the Tengus want to get the kills on the Bullfrogs. They want to be able to, very nice here, going to be able to grab that building. They want to get the kill on the Bullfrogs, and then, of course, the Strikers want to get the kill on the Hammer Tanks. And if it goes well for either player, you can see some pretty devastating results. Like, if the Bullfrogs are able to avoid the Tengus, then they're able to kill the Strikers or the Choppers relatively quickly. And then vice versa, if the Strikers are able to get a lock on the Hammer Tanks, they will cut through the Hammer Tanks very quickly. And sometimes we end up seeing a bit of a snowball effect go on as one player gets a good engagement, and then they can just snowball that on to the victory, because Bullfrogs or Chopper VXs, both of them can snowball and give you a nice little advantage. And then sometimes we even see just like the Soviet player with 1 or 2 hammer tanks, and then like 4 or 5 bullfrogs. Well, the Tengu and the Striker both go down, and it looks like both of the Twin Blades do manage to escape, albeit barely. That guy's got just a pixel of health left. And satellites rain down on that ore refinery, but they weren't quite able to finish it off. Naval Yard goes down on the low ground, ore refinery as well. So Zaar going to be getting that 3rd refinery up, or that 4th refinery rather, up and running, and that'll put him a little bit ahead economically from his opponent. Well, a couple of more Tengus being gifted. It's feeling a little bit like Christmas, as there's the dance that we were looking to see, and it worked out not too well in the favor of Berat. Zaar is doing okay. Losing a little bit there, but not too much that I think he needs to be worried. And the only thing would be if these tank busters get too many shots off on the hammer tanks. No bears will be produced for this portion of the game, as the Twin Blades are going to be going in for the kill. Where are the Bullfrogs? They should really be here to support this and take down that very weak Tengu. Sickle's going to be popping on out, but of course Sickles by themselves don't do super well against this many tank busters. Pretty easy to kill off that one single sickle like that. Flak Cannon will potentially get the kill on that Tengu. A bit of a mistake there from Berat transforming like that. Gets the kill on the Harvester anyway. Takes down a Twin Blade and trades a Tengu for it. So a very scrappy back and forth between these two guys. Needs to go ahead and get that Harvester back online. And gets this Harvester back online as well. Zaar losing a little bit on the economic front, starting to fall down against Berat's constant harassment that he's managed to pull off here. And Berat, for now, he's just like, who needs Chopper VXs? I can just do this with Tengus and Tank Busters. So we'll have to see if that actually works out for him. It could be a little bit problematic. A couple of MiGs, a couple of Twin Blades could really spice up his day. Never mind. Twin Blades will be dealt with very easily there, and the point defense drones allow most of the Tengus to escape. One more Tengu going to be joining the flock after their comrade went down there to the Bullfrogs. But resetting the Twin Blade count is very important when you've got a primarily infantry-based army, because, of course, hey, tank busters can deal with everything that we see here from the Soviets. Free repairs are nice, but they're not the end of the world. Bears will be zoned out by these. Well, the Tengus and the Imperial Warrior is going to be double-teaming that one as the tank busters deal with everything else. Berat pushing forward, doesn't need Chopper VXs, just needs tank busters. If he can kill the barracks, one more bear does get out. Does he get any kills? No, the answer is no, as the tank busters do get locked down a little bit here. 3 of them get eliminated. 1 of them manages to sneak back into the ground. So the bears didn't actually get any kills there, but they managed to get the freeze for the hammer tanks to get the crush. Oh, for a second I thought that was a tier 2. It was actually just another tank buster being produced here, as eventually this tank buster will end up going down. Back to work. These harvesters are not quite able to get back to work, as Zaar has forgotten about them a little bit here. MCV on the move will decide to pack on up and not drop an extra refinery out there on the water. Rebuilding once again primarily just from the barracks. A couple of Chopper VXs here as well. You got to make sure that you get the control just right when you're up against the Bullfrog Hammer Tank combo. Twin Blades and MiGs make that an even more difficult choice for the Empire player. Ooh, this harassment. Berat has had a couple of bad engagements, but his harassment has been more than making up for it. And the fact that Zaar has forgotten to put these guys back to work and is still not quite back up to that 4 refinery economy just really adds insult to injury. Ooh, this tank. Ooh, no, the Tengu is going to go down. Never mind. Gets eliminated there. And this guy keeping this harvester off the line. That Tengu is doing a lot of work by just sitting inside of the walls there. And that harvester still not working. At this point, I'm almost kind of worried that it is bugged somehow and it actually can't be sent back to work. Nope. All right. So that was just like several minutes of lost income for Zaar that he's really just missing. Again, giving an opportunity for Berat to get back in this game. He was able to rebuild up to 4 Chopper VXs plus more Tengus. I mean, he's got 5 or 6 Tengus in total. A couple of them are harassing around the map. But, I mean, still, he's got himself 5 or 6 Tengus to be mixed in with this Tank Buster and Chopper VX crowd. A couple of Tengus going to be running defense, going to be able to lock down a couple of Imperial Warriors, but the Tank Busters do still survive. And with this many Chopper VXs, he probably even could have dived on those. These bears are almost getting so close to the Tank Busters. He almost could have dived on those Bullfrogs to just get the kill with the Chopper VXs. Bears go down once again. Reactors are being used to body block for the crane, and Berat desperately wants to shut down that crane. Manages to get the kill. The barracks is still here. It will get eliminated. Once again, harassment being a viable option for Berat, and we can see Berat has finally broken through the front line. Twin Blade Bullfrog combo. Where are the Chopper VXs to help deal with this? Even if you just transform them to deal with the Twin Blade, as everything else deals with the hammer tanks, that would be okay. Try to rush forward and just get one of these Bullfrogs. It's not quite gonna happen, as Berat is not able to get the kill there. Flak Cannon trying to go down on the front lines, but I don't know that he actually has the income for that. Zaar is, well, he's getting a free kill on one of those Tengus as well. Kills both of the Bullfrogs, and now it's going to be easy pickings for the rest of these forces. Should be able to transform the Chopper VXs and get the Twin Blade. Nope, he didn't even need to, as the Tengu was able to clean that up very nicely. And for now, well, there isn't a whole lot else to do. Needs to grab this Bullfrog immediately. He does manage to get it quick enough and saves with Transform. For a little while, one of those Chopper VXs. Airfield does go down, and another Bullfrog pops out, but Berat stands victorious as Zaar has been defeated. Putting up a good fight, but not able to stop that harassment. And again, let's take a quick look at the resources graph as that harassment started, and from that point forward, which is Zaar, was behind in the economy and then just got further and further behind. No big real spikes coming out from Berat. Once he got his economy established, he really didn't expand past that. He just managed to keep Zaar down, despite the fact that Zaar had more refineries for most of that game. That will do it for that match. A good performance by Berat in For the Win 72, and we are potentially going to be looking at some more games after this. Or this is Sybert signing out. This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Infinity Isle for some random For the Win 72 games. These are from both Turbo Tournament 1 and 2, and these are all best of ones. So guess what? You will be seeing the entirety of this series in the single match if I end up uploading these. On the left side, as the Cyan Soviets, this is Win 9. And on the right side, as the Blue Allies, this is Happy Wins, a.k.a. Happy. So it's Happy Wins versus Win 9. Soviets versus Allies. Vindicator out nice and early, but too slow for the Engineer. I know a lot of Soviet players do have trouble going up against this Allied airfield first kind of stuff. But for now, Win 9 seems to be handling it pretty well. Now, keep in mind, he did delay his second refinery, so his eco is going to be a little bit late. But that's pretty much okay, because the airfield will delay the second refinery for the Allies as well. So it's not exactly equal, but it's pretty darn close to equal. And actually, of course, he's got the oil derrick as well, whereas nothing doing for Happy. Now, Happy is, I don't know Win 9. I don't know if it's Smurf or someone, but they're a Cyan Soviets, and I'm not familiar with them, which means I'm going to put money on Happy. So what we're looking for from Win 9 is, if he can at all give Happy a run for his money, I will consider myself mildly impressed. Happy cleaning up a couple of scouting bears around the map. Always nice to do that, and doing a little bit of damage to the oil derrick as well, so that you can have an easier time cleaning that up a little bit later. MCV on the move to the high ground, going for that third refinery location. Drops a second reactor, no super reactor, so sitting on the tier 1. Now, once again, just because my money is on Happy doesn't mean Win 9 doesn't know what he's doing, because based on the opening, Win 9 knows exactly what he's doing. He handled this airfield first, pretty much perfectly. We saw him get the flak cannon, and then once he had his 2 bullfrogs, he dropped that flak cannon. So I think this guy's played a decent number of games. His timings seem to be crisp as well, which means, well, we'll have to see as we go on. But I think this guy knows what he's doing, and he's clearly not just like some 3-game scrub showing up in a tournament and going up against Happy. Terror Drone gets dropped out of the sky there. I don't know what that was, but that was a failure. Oh, the multi-gunner turret must have gotten the kill on the Terror Drone when it got launched. And 4 Vindicators coming in for a big run. One of them should... Oh, no. The pathing is perfect from Happy. He was actually able to completely avoid those bullfrogs. I was going to say one of them should go down. But they will go down here. 1 and 2 and 3. So that attack went from incredibly effective because that refinery was just 1 bombing away from death. You know, 1 more carpet bombing like that, and it was going to go down. 2, you just traded out 3 Vindicators, which is more expensive than if you even got the kill on that refinery. And Happy has determined that this collector is not going to make it back to that airfield, which means he's going to try and get the kill on the Terror Drone. The Peacekeeper also dies. A little bit of a glitch in the animation there, so you didn't actually see the Terror Drone attack. But keep in mind that he did. 2 Vindicators make a bombing run, but again, trading 3 Vindicators for 1 single refinery. Now, the, of course, downside is that as Soviets, you can't pre-queue that refinery, which means you can't drop it as soon as the other one dies, which you know is going to happen in the next minute or 2. 2 reactors do end up going down, and when you're focused so much on this airfield, something like a turret push can be difficult to deal with, which is what we're seeing now. Now, we do have some flak troopers in some of these buildings, and a hammer tank is now out on the front lines. 1 multi-gunner turret going to be coming up here. The hammer tank does go down. Flak troopers a little bit slow to respond. You probably need all hands on deck with this sort of an attack. And for now, the high ground has been ceded. 1 flak trooper does give his life. 1 more hammer tank. Oh, man, it would be nice if he could get a second one out, but his economy is a little bit strapped. Taking down that other refinery is having some dire consequences for Win 9. Happy striking while that refinery is down is a great move, even though it wasn't strictly cost-efficient for him. It was cost-efficient in the sense that this has opened up a huge timing opportunity for Happy. He definitely wants to keep this refinery alive as long as possible, and it's going to be a long road on the way out from this. Now, a nice infect with a second Terror Drone, which takes Happy's economic advantage down a little bit, but Happy is going to start to work away at his opponent's economic situation. Another Terror Drone pops on out, not... Ooh. I mean, you can try and go for the Terror Drone. In fact, it's pretty unlikely with Peacekeepers, with multi-gunner turrets here, so this is a tough situation for Win 9. He's going for what he can, but ideally he needs like 3 or 4 hammer tanks, but he just doesn't have the cash to get them out. So Happy playing this fast airfield move really nicely here. And then, well, he's got his refineries back up and running. He's got that going. I don't know that he has the cash to go for an airfield. Even 1 MiG and using the barracks to try and body block for the refinery. Now it's not worth it. Just cancel the barracks, get the cash back, and don't let the multi-gunner turret get the kill there. As a refinery goes down immediately, 4 refinery allies, and now Happy is in a great position and going for the Crusher Crane. Good move. Gonna get him some extra utility. And if anything survives from the high ground, he could get cash back on it. May also add crushing his MCV, which trades out your support powers. You no longer have the ability to call down toxins or anything like that. And that actually is a warband. That's not a spy. But I don't know that it's actually going to be worth it. The Crusher Crane, if it's going to be enough to save Win 9 in this situation. He's got a lot of bullfrogs. 5+ bullfrogs. 4 bullfrogs? Wow, did I just miscount that? I guess I did. Going for the infect on the Peacekeeper. Now, see this? He has brought the bear along just to make sure that he can get the roar Then he's going to get the kill on the Peacekeeper and then the Infect. So very nicely done there by Win9. Ooh, this is not nicely done. Engaging... oh. Okay, if he's not GG and typing in the chat right now, that was hugely problematic, leaving those couple of hammer tanks there just leeching down a multi-gunner turret while there's allied infantry right on the front lines. That was a clear mistake for... There's the Crusher Crane being used, so it's not for the Crush, but a clear mistake from Win9, and gifting away 2 hammer tanks like that is... when you're down like this, it's not ideal, to say the least, when you're down against a 4 refinery allies. Now, this is more what he's going for. You can, of course, reverse move the 1 tank away a little bit, just to break the attack lock, and then the other guys keep on leeching. Bullfrog should be near the front line to help deal with these Vindicator runs. 2 more hammer tanks go down. Sneaky, sneaky infantry control. Really well played by Happy. A great combo of 1 Javelin Trooper, so he's not putting his whole infantry line at risk, but 1 Javelin Trooper joining the Vindicators in that bombing run, and then the Peacekeeper to help ward off bears as well. Really nicely played by Happy. A nice little combo move there. And keep in mind how incredibly efficient Happy has been since those 3 Vindicators went down. The number of units that Happy has lost, you can just about count on one hand, and most of them have been this Harvester, which he's had to rebuild constantly. And now on Dolphins, out on the water, again, Happy playing this almost perfectly with hardly a mistake. Win9, this is a big nothing pressure. I don't know what he's really hoping to achieve here. He may be able to do some damage to one of these multi-gunner turrets, but he won't be able to get it down. Once again, the hammer tanks, 2 of them go down, trading out for 1 Vindicator, but that is okay for Happy. He's going to be all right with that kind of a situation. Launches the bears out of that Bullfrog to get them safe. And the barracks does get frozen. The army is completely safe. Happy not really utilizing that cryotech as much as we normally see an ally. 1 Vindicator goes down. It looks like the second one gets eliminated. Trades out for 1 Bullfrog. And, well, Happy was being extremely efficient, extremely good with his units, but now he's gifted a lot of stuff away. He's given away his ground army, but not his control. He still has 4 multi-gunner turrets on the high ground here. This is still going to be a very difficult position to break. A couple of Javelin Troopers popping on out, or even a single Vindicator could really even up these odds. Win9 has been able to get an impressive hammer tank force up and running. I don't know that he's really going to be able to break this front line, but this is definitely the best chance that he's got. Again, these Vindicator bombing runs are just so problematic for Soviets, although trading out 1 hammer tank for 1 Vindicator, most of the time, Soviets is going to be okay with that, but really hammer tanks are precious in this situation. Gets down another multi-gunner turret, and keep in mind with the Crusher Crane repairs, he doesn't even have to leech back up to full HP. He can get those repairs and then head back for another round. Now we're starting to see the infantry swell from Happy. Once again, the refinery out on the water did get eliminated, so it's down to just the 2 refineries for Win9. He's pumped out an impressive army, and honestly, I'm not sure what his next move is. Like, maybe dropping a flak cannon near the front line just so his Bullfrogs have a little bit of extra help. But I'm not sure what the, like, correct move is for him. Barracks does go down. That's a free and easy kill for Happy. And another terror drone going for the infect. The walls have never been built. Like, how many times do you have to have terror drones infect that 1 single refinery before you decide to build walls? Cryocopters now out on the field, and this is the next move for Happy. Nice laser lock by Happy. Gets 2 hammer tanks down to very low health. And for now, they will survive. A couple of terror drones here on the front lines as well. Yeah, you can try and get the kill on those. Wow, he pulls even a Vindicator back, but he gets the kill on the terror drone that way. 5 multi-gunner turrets. Happy is just happy to sit on the high ground and to wait this out. Sells off the naval yard, so he's going to keep the Riptides, and then that's pretty much it. I'm surprised he's not going for Tier 3. 1 aircraft carrier would totally break Win9 in this situation. And, Cryo Shot does come down, doesn't catch anything, but forces the Bullfrogs into inopportune situation. And of course, that means the hammer tanks will take some extra damage from those Vindicators. Shrink Ray, rather, going to be coming down, taking care of a couple of those Bullfrogs, shrinking down a hammer tank as well. But this is starting to become a powerful Soviet force, and yeah, you can have a lid on the Soviet base for a long time, but you can't have a lid on them forever. So Win9 decides to break out of here. If he plays this well, if he's not able to stop the Vindicator runs from weakening his army, he will never be able to break out of here. And Win9 has been defeated. The GG gets called. Could he have maybe broken out of there? Sure. But again, it was going to be a tough fight no matter which way it goes. So other than this point right here where Happy tried to win the game early and was not successful, other than that point, that was almost just like perfect kind of fast airfield into a base push, hold the high ground, lock your opponent in their base kind of play. Really well done by Happy. And I guess that's where that refinery got reestablished or something. That's a big jump in income for Win9. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Happy played more efficiently, and he had more cash. And those two things in combination almost always spell victory. And they do in this situation. Really well played by Happy, but nicely done for the most part from Win9. He was in a tough situation for a lot of that game. And after that opening few minutes, he just couldn't claw his way back in. That will do it for this game. And we're potentially going to be taking a look at some more games. Otherwise, we'll just call this one here. This is Sybert signing out. This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3. Once again on the map, Infinity Isle on the left side as the Purple Soviets. This is DDF. And on the right side as the Cyan Random Allies. This is Berat. Let's see. It's Infinity Isle, and he's getting to play Random Allies. So the fact that he went barracks first means we're not doing anything too sneaky, but still, okay, right into the refinery. All right, we're looking normal. He's not going to try and do anything to catch his opponent unawares. He's not going to try and do anything to get an early win over DDF. Now, keep in mind, these are all best of one series, and these are from both Turbo Tournament number 1 and 2. So anything could happen. He does barely manage to get the engineer in there after having a close call over here with that engineer and some bears. DDF keeping up the infantry production, at least for now. Berat gets the kill on the bear, and will get the full scout off on the base. Which, you know, not that there's too much to see. Once again, the base crawl for DDF over here to the water expansion, so he's going to get that extra economy up and running pretty darn quickly. Dog's going to help clean out some of these Soviet forces. They will be able to keep the building from being occupied by the Soviet forces, and Berat going to send a couple of peacekeepers in there. Reactor goes down once again with the just slow base crawl for DDF. He wants to get himself an ore refinery up and running pretty much as quickly as he can without ever moving his MCB or anything like that. Conscripts do manage to get the kill on a couple of the dogs, but the bears are coming in for their revenge, and once again we have this back and forth. DDF has kept his barracks around just in case, and the airfield is now up and running for Berat before he heads out onto the water for his own third refinery. Going to be a little bit slow, but that is okay. And of course, using the naval yard to produce the first couple of bullfrogs is a great move for DDF. Needs to get that anti-air out as quickly as possible, and it looks like he did not do any flak cannon placement, so he won't be going for any static D on the front lines to help him hold the line. And very annoying that DDF was able to grab that building. Going to be forcing an inefficient trade of peacekeepers to conscripts there. And conscripts are also going to be grabbing this building on the high ground. Again, is it a big deal? No, not at all, but it is a little bit of an annoying deal. And this is also very annoying. Could use the Vindicators to clear out those bears, but for now, they're just going to be blocking that optimal refinery placement, forcing the long-distance harvesting, and that is very frustrating for Berat to deal with. For now, he's going to be on that almost 3 refinery economy, but not quite on it, and Berat will be able to clear out that building. Wall's coming down for DDF, so he's going to be cutting the map in half. Got his 4 refinery economy up and running, goes right into the super reactor. Again, with this naval yard, it gives him the option to do that. He can produce even a couple of stingrays if he was really worried about a ground attack. He could even produce some stingrays and send them up to the high ground just to help hold the line. But for now, he just needed to get out those bullfrogs, and he even has a couple of stingrays for defense or for a little bit of offensive capability, and there is a hydrofoil on its way over here. It's supposed to be assisting this dolphin, but the dolphin will end up getting taken out by the stingrays, and then the hydrofoil will get overwhelmed as well. Another bullfrog going to be coming on out, and War Factory is not on the way. Still, he's going right into the airfield. So DDF, he is really getting to play this his way. A couple of bears going to be getting taken out there as they were trying to block that refinery. And again, we're now on relatively equal refinery numbers, but over time, the refinery inefficiency will create a bigger and bigger discrepancy between these two guys' income. I don't know that this game will go on long enough that that will be a deciding factor in this match. Another naval yard going to be going down there on the low ground. But it's always something to keep in mind. Every advantage that you can get, maybe it doesn't end up making the difference in this game, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have a little bit of an advantage like that. Vindicators going in for some bombing runs. They will maybe be able to escape. Hydrofoil going to be providing some defense and cleans out a MiG. Very nicely done there for Berat. And refinery probably going to be coming down relatively soon for DDF. There we go. He's got his 5th refinery on the way. IFV going to be doing a little bit of damage, but one harvester does go down, and even so, the twin blade does manage to escape. Hydrofoil down south going to be tangling with these stingrays. The Riptide ends up going down as well, which means Stingray is going to have an easy job cleaning up this one hydrofoil, pushing them away. Bye-bye. Bullfrogs turning around. They can head back north. Maybe they got eyes on these Vindicators over here. Heading to the middle of the map for a bombing run. No Tier 2 just yet, so went into the War Factory, did Berat, but no Tier 2, which means we've got no Guardian tanks, we've got no Cryocopters, nothing like that. Flak Cannon gets some nice shots off, but not enough to take anything down, and the Ore Refinery is still chugging away very nicely. Akula Sub now going to be here to end this 3rd refinery, the Water Refinery, and a couple of Riptides going to be trying to respond, but satellites will get called down as well, and this Akula Sub may want to sacrifice himself to just make sure he gets the kill. But no, he doesn't even have to. Satellites finish it off nicely, and, well, I guess the Hydrofoil will allow the Riptide to get some extra damage in. Vindicators coming in for a bombing run as well, just to help finish off this Akula Sub a little more quickly. Not able to get the bombs dropped before it resubmerges and goes underwater. A little bit of potential harassment as that MiG was just flying over. Maybe it was just taking a look, seeing what he could see. Second Akula Sub shows up for DDF. He really wants to shut down that water expansion and make sure that nothing is going on. MiGs, once again, going for the flyover. Kind of reminds me of Waff the Wolf, the amount of times he's using his MiGs for flyovers just to keep an eye on his opponent. Tier 2 finally up and running, but Tier 3 is probably going to be the name of the game relatively soon, considering the easy time that DDF has had in this game. Look at that Battle Lab, going to be finishing up in just a couple of moments. And this guy, for whatever reason, DDF in this particular game does not believe in the Soviet power of the War Factory. So he is not even going to be producing anything. He's got 2 naval yards. He can start pumping out dreadnoughts if he wants, now that that Battle Lab is finished up, but still no War Factory. Here we go, Tier 3 from our allied player as well. Probably no Sentry Bombers, but he's going to have a hard time if he does not reestablish some kind of naval presence. He's going to most likely have to deal with dreadnoughts. He's going to have to contend out on the water, and that's going to be a hard thing for him to do. Mirage Tank, Athena Cannon coming on out. Cryo Shot fires off, but it completely misses the Harvester. So a little bit unfortunate there for Berat. He does not get the easy kill. He's going to have to work a little harder if he wants the opportunity to kill some Harvesters. Economic harassment isn't always just a one-click kind of a game. And now we have the last stage of this game for DDF. This is end game for him, and this is where Berat really has to pull something out. He has to have something in mind to be able to stop this onslaught, because killing one... he lost the cryocopter. Killing one Dreadnought, okay, you've done that, but now you're still down 2-3 refineries from your opponent, and he's got the Dreadnoughts out on the water, so you're going to have to do something about that sooner or later. Twin Blades come through. They don't quite get the kill on that Harvester. They do end up wasting some of their missiles on that civilian structure. Once again, MiGs performing the flyover just to keep eyes on everything. And this refinery may end up going down to that Athena cannon, but of course the Dreadnought is now out once again. And I'm kind of surprised the Twin Blades aren't even here to kill off that Athena cannon a little bit more quickly before the Dreadnought would have even gotten to it. Refinery does still stand, and that's the thing about buildings. They still work even if they are damaged. Command hub going to get taken out as well. Vindicators come in for a bombing run. Trades out one Vindicator. The second one does manage to escape, but I think DDF is going to be feeling all right with that situation. The dude is rolling in money, having to rebuild one refinery. Still no war factory. My gosh. He's got a Natasha. He probably is even producing Kirovs at some point, but no actual war factory. Riptide's coming in for a bit of a tangle, and they are going to get themselves destroyed as that Dreadnought gets shrunk down. He pulls away to the north, and the Sakula sub is still camping outside of that expansion. MCV gets shrunk down. A couple of Mirage tanks going to be stepping forward, but this is going to be a tough attack. I mean, Natasha could instantly take down one of those Mirage tanks. Everything escapes the cryo shot very nicely there by DDF. And here's the snipe. No, actually going to be going for nothing. Berat loses or kills Natasha there. As the Twin Blades come in, they get the kill on both of the Mirage tanks very nicely there. No MiGs in the air to deal with this cryocopter, which means there is an opportunity for some real damage to be done. This is going to be hard again for an actual win to come out of this assault by Berat, but he's going to do what he can. Takes down a Twin Blade, loses the cryocopter for it, and this has about got to be it. Pretty one-sided slugfest from DDF, and by that I really just mean DDF was punching Berat in the face for the last 10 minutes or so. The MiG does go down, and the Apollo is going to chase away these Twin Blades. Well, he was going to try. The Apollo was going to try to chase away those Twin Blades. Another refinery does go down. Again, shrinking the refinery numbers down to just the 2 for little old Berat. Nope, just down to 1 for old Berat as he sells everything off. There's the fire sale, and the GG coming out momentarily as these 2 power plants are the only thing he's got left. There's the sell, and Berat has been defeated. Very well played to DDF. Berat was contentious for the first couple of minutes, but once DDF started to pull away, he just did not give up that lead. And that was a case where DDF didn't make a lot of mistakes, so there weren't easy opportunities for Berat to gain the lead. And then it really comes down to, well, okay, can Berat, from a position of being behind, suddenly manage to completely outplay strategically and tactically managed to outplay DDF? It seems unlikely. Sure, it's possible, but it seems unlikely. And there we see it as DDF continues his domination there. Very well played by DDF. That will do it for this game. Let's check out some more For the Win 72 action. Unless this is the last game, because I might put this one last. In that case, this is Sybert signing out.